Hello, welcome to Do Magetti IELTS Speaking Part 1. Today we're going to look at some different question types. There are going to be several of these videos dealing with most question types that you get in Part 1 and the formulas that are used. And also I'm going to focus a little bit on the grammar in certain ways, which will become clear to you. Okay, so I'm going to call this question types 1 because it's the first one of a series. Now, when taking the speaking part of the exam, it's important to be able to fully understand the questions. This may sound strange, but often students answer what they think they hear, which is sometimes incorrect. As an example, which I hear often, what sports do you like? The answer I hear is, I would like to play soccer. I would like to does not answer the question, do you or do you like? Do you like is for something that happens all the time, is permanent, or is constant. Would you like is for something, usually one time in the future. So if you answer would like to a do you like question, the answer is not correct. Okay, this is a simple example of the student giving the wrong answer to a question. So in this video, we're going to provide some effective tips to answer part 1 questions. So the first thing we're going to look at is what are called list questions. These are where the question kind of asks you to make a list of things. So obviously the questions are going to be in the plural form, as stated here. So the questions are in the form of, what kinds of, what types of, how many ways, in what ways, what are your, example, favorite books or favorite sports? What things do you like to do at the weekend? Remember, things, not thing. What clothes, sports, books, magazines, movies do you like? Make a list. What are the good and bad things about your hometown, for example? There are usually more than one good thing and often more than one bad thing. But listen to the question, because the grammar of the question will tell you how to answer. If the question says, tell me a good thing about your hometown, they're asking you to say one thing. If the question is, tell me some good things about your hometown, they are expecting more than one. So this is important. Okay, let's practice. So for the examples, we will see the list things in the blue and the information in the red. Okay, so here is a typical example. What types of movies do you like? Types equals plural. Movies equals plural. Yes. If it was a single one, we would say, name a movie that you like. So it would be one specific movie. But here they're asking for types, i.e. genres, movie types. So I've written here, I like to watch crime, thrillers, science fiction, documentaries, and comedies. That's my list. My extra information is you choose one or two of the examples and you expand. My favorites are crime and documentaries, because they are more true to life. It means they're more real, about real things. I like to watch crime and documentaries mainly because they are more true to life, but I'm also keen on thrillers, comedies, and science fiction. So two different ways you can answer the same question. You can say two things and explain why, and then add some more things. So look at the formula, practice the formula. A second question, in what ways do you keep healthy? I begin with health is very important. So I have several things which I do. I exercise regularly, eat good food, I don't smoke, and drink only moderately. So there's my list in blue. For me, exercise are good and good food, are paramount. Paramount being the most important. I eat a lot of fresh vegetables. So there's my list in blue. There's my expansion in red. Okay, so now we're going to look at past tense. The examiner will be listening for you and listening to check your use of the past tense, as well as all your other grammar things. What did you do when you were bored, when you were a child? Looking back, so here we can begin by looking back. It automatically takes us back into the past. Looking back, it means when I remember. I remember that I used to. Now, used to is our past tense. So when we use our verbs, we don't need past tense here because this covers it. I used to play football. I used to go for walks in the park. I used to ride my bicycle. Or I might stay in my room and read a book. So we've got used to cover this, 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 and this. And in the past, I might stay. It's kind of unusual past tense, but it's perfectly okay. I played football mainly because I liked to be with my friends. So past tense, past tense. This is what the this is what the examiner is listening for. Okay. Again, it's a list question. What things did you do? As well as being a list, it's also focusing on past tense. So it can be a combination of the two. So be aware. This has combined both past tense and a list. What things, plural. What are the good things about your hometown? Again, plural verb are tells you it's plural. Things also tells you it's plural. Well, at the top of the list, it has to be the nightlife. Explain. There is so much to do. Now I continue with my list because I've said the number one thing. Now I'm going to continue. There are fantastic restaurants, clubs, and bars. Other notable things, so some other things that are good are the park, the new shopping mall, and last but not least is the sports stadium. Okay. So practice this format. Make sure that you have a list of at least 3 things. More is better. Practice giving reasons for your choices. This must be part of your answer. So we're going to move on to another question type, which is, this is only the past experience. In the past experiences, in the past experiences questions, the examiner is looking to check your use of the past tense and how you talk about past experiences. Typical questions may be, did you? When did you last? When was the last time you? Same question. What did you study at school, high school, university, whichever one they ask you? Did you have to do something, go something, where, do, when you were? For example, did you have to, let me think of something. Did you have to go to school at weekends when you were young? Just an example. And then have you, or have you ever? This is present perfect, but present perfect, remember, begins in the past and comes up to the present. So have you ever been to Europe? Yes, I went to Europe in 2005, example. Yes. So present perfect is a question that they could ask you because it ties into the past. Okay, examples. Did you play sports when you were a young child? Sorry, a child, or when you were young? I was a sports fanatic. Every spare moment I had, I would do something. I played both football and basketball. I also did some martial arts and kickboxing. At high school, I was in the basketball team and played guard. By the way, none of that is true for me because I played football only and I didn't do any martial arts. Okay, so let's just click this to the bottom. Okay, click it back to the top. When was the last time you went on a vacation? So, time, about 6 months ago. Around about 6 months ago. You can put them together, but you can separate them. Around 6 months ago or about 6 months ago. But sometimes we join them around about 6 months ago. Why we do this, I have no idea, but we do it. I went on a wonderful trip to Australia with my girlfriend. We had planned it, that's past perfect, for a few years, and we saved a lot of money. We spent a week in Sydney before we travelled up to the Great Barrier Reef, and we also visited Alice Springs. So you can see past tense is in blue because they're asking me about the last time I did something. Did you ever go to the zoo as a child? Did you ever go? Child, they're your keywords. A few times I've answered the question, so now I'm going to spend the time expanding. My parents were busy working a lot of the time, so we didn't do so many things together, but they took me to some great places. We visited the local zoo a couple of times, and we also went to the National Zoo in the city. I saw so many animals there. Again, past tense in blue. Practice. Use this format. Find a list of questions. If you want a list of questions, please make a request. I'll tell you how to do that later. Make a request and I can send you a list. So that's the end of the video. As I said, there are going to be more. Reiterating what I said at the beginning, make sure you understand the questions because this is a big issue with many students. When I speak to students and we're doing speaking practice, they often answer incorrectly because they hear incorrectly. And don't let this affect you. Okay, thank you, and stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe to our channel and you will get plenty of information which we hope will help you.